I want to get to the next one that was waiting in the queue here. Corey calling in from South Carolina. What's going on?
Hey, I just want to say to the last call, my heart goes out to you.
Yeah, for sure. I can't imagine what it's like to have that experience, and it scares me to think about. It really does. So props, super props. Anyway, Corey, what's going on?
Well, I was just going to talk about my story. I watched a couple Atheist Experience and Talk Heathen, and I was on there, and I was a Christian. This is 4 weeks, 4 to 6 weeks now that I'm an atheist.
Holy shit, that's really fucking recent. Well, first of all, congratulations to you.
And it was also the help of the Discord. Like, that helped me out a lot. There's a lot of people in the ACA Discord that really helped me out.
Yeah, shout outs to that ACA Discord, which we will be in tonight after the show, which you should join us for. Shout outs to that. But anyway, yeah, Corey, holy crap, you watched AXP and now you are an atheist. Was it AXP directly that was your biggest influence? What was that like?
Well, what it was is just going across the shows. I just wanted to see the perspective of the other side. And when they brought out that I was wrong, I reevaluated it and I looked at the evidence. And I digged, and until I couldn't dig no more.
Yeah. Welcome to the club, Corey. That's like your response. I'm sorry, I want you to keep talking, but your response, right? Like, well, I looked at the evidence and I reevaluated my beliefs. Like, that's pretty much what we all have to say. Because, like, it's not as, like, fantastical as, like, a Christian conversion story. You know, it's just kind of like, nah, I kind of looked into it and I didn't think it was real. So I just think that's funny.
Yeah, and he looked at the Bible. Yeah, there's some dark stuff in there, and I even was at the point where, okay, our God is some dark shit. Like, he got some answers to answer for, you know? And then I called into the Atheist Experience, and Matt just like, he definitely got something to ask for, you know? And so I thought that was pretty cool. And what I learned is, like, when I talk to people, is like it really hits down to, like, they got a bad perspective of us as an atheist, you know?
Oh, God, yeah.
I was even at work, and I was listening to this video, and it had some Christian music on it, and they were just like, oh, you can't listen to that. I still want to keep those things tied to me, personally. I still wanted to have Christmas. I still want to go and hang out with my Christian friends.
Hold on, Corey. Christmas is a pagan holiday. You know that, right? Like, you can do whatever you want with Christmas. They don't own that. I'm just saying. But yeah, like,
I know.
You're definitely right, Corey. Like, there is a cultural transition that happens in this process that I don't think a lot of people outside our community realize, right? They just think that we just are the way that we are. But no, like, there's a whole thing that happens with this, at least for those of us who, you know, once believed in it and now don't. So I'm glad you're waking up to that. I got to ask you, though, like, have you told anybody else outside the atheist community about this? Like, what's their experience been? Or are you keeping it secret?
I actually got, like, I made 3 friends, like co-workers. Yes, I know, going to work and talking about atheism. It was a topic that was brought up. I did not like the feeling that was brought up. Like, when somebody would come into the gas station that I worked at and say, well, God bless you. When I deconverted, that was like...
Yeah, it's weird, right? Suddenly, the culture is not made for you anymore. You got to kind of figure it out on your own, right? Yeah, for sure.
But I wanted to talk to my friends about that. It was like, why are you feeling so down and stuff? Because we were friends and coworkers. And I was like, okay, guess what? It's like, I still want to have friends. I still want to participate in events. I still want you to care about me. I still don't want to lose my job just because my beliefs have changed.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, all I'm just saying is that I just don't believe in your God. That's it.
Yeah.
It's like, I still want to be able to party with you. Still want to love you, you know? I still want to have fun, you know?
Yeah, Corey.
It's this mentality where...
I was just going to say, you can do all that as long as you're not donating to any events, you know, or any church stuff. I think you're good. I think you're good, right? Yeah, but it is different.
Yeah, and that's why I want to say to, like, any atheists or out there who having a hard time, you can still do the things that you love. Because I'm doing the things that I still love.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I'm watching God Not's Dead, but I'm laughing at it. But
yeah, it is kind of freeing. It's like, yeah, you can do what you want, and the things that were, you know, previously taboo for you, now you can explore and deal with that. But, you know, I know atheists that will go to church with their family and stuff like that, and I certainly do whenever I go see them and stuff. You know, it is there is meaning to the ritual. You know, like the ritual does have a sort of power in people's minds. And yeah, it doesn't have the same power for me as it does for them. But the act of me being there is meaningful to my family. And if that gives them a comfort and a sense of peace, I'm personally okay with that. I can see where people would want to kind of, you know, abolish that altogether. But unfortunately, until I raise a family of my own, which, you know, who knows if even that would happen, you know, I have to kind of stick to some cultural mores with my family in order to kind of keep that relationship. But at the same time, they do respect my opinion, probably now more than ever. But religion isn't something that I talk about with them as much anymore, because they know that I'm probably going to have like a really complicated response and they don't want to, you know, talk about it anymore. But I'm so glad, Corey. I'm glad you decided to talk to me, and I'm glad you were talking to ACA Discord folks and stuff. Like, good for you, man. I wish you luck on your journey, and yeah, never stop learning stuff. Always keep wanting the truth, right?
Yes. Always look for the truth.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Corey, I'm going to go ahead and let you go, but thanks again for calling in. Really cool. So glad that I got to talk to you. Yeah, it is crazy that, you know, I've been doing this for a little while now, talking about this stuff for a couple of years, and there's still people coming to this every day. I forget that sometimes. Sometimes I talk about this stuff. It's like, yeah, you know, I've talked about this before. You know, everybody already knows what I'm talking about. You know, none of this is new, but it is new to some people. Like, people are watching, and they may not always be vocal about them watching, but they're watching and they're listening. I know that when I was watching atheist videos, I didn't comment on channels or anything. I was kind of, you know, looking out and seeing what was out there, sort of lurking, right? That's the word I was looking for, lurking a little bit. So yeah, people are always watching. So really crazy. What do you think, Zod?
As far as just the whole general experience,
yeah,
I think, boy, it's I think there's a lot to it when you first come out, and I think it's great that somebody was willing to hear evidence like that and not put up the resistance to it. You know, that's one of the biggest things that brought me out, is just recognizing where I was struggling within my mind, and how I was trying to how I was trying to push certain thoughts to the back of my mind and not acknowledge certain things and stuff like that. So yeah, it's a journey, and being that brand new, it's a big place to be in life, and there's a lot of trying to still find your footing, and it's not always going to be easy. And like you said, you lose a lot, and people don't react to you the right ways. And sometimes you just want to stay connected with people. We don't see why it's a big deal that we just don't believe a certain proposition, but that means something to other people. And so there's a lot you lose, and a lot you kind of have to regain your footing on.
It's weirder to me when people don't think it's a big deal. I actually think it makes more sense for them to treat it like a big deal and react negatively than for them to not respond at all. Because it's like, whoa, like I just told you this life experience I had, and like you're not responding at all, you know?
Yeah,
but
there is within that worldview, it is going to be understood that you're giving up something that means a lot to them culturally.
yeah,
But once you remove yourself from it, it does start to feel weird that they see your character so differently just because you look around, you assess things, and you don't think a certain being exists.
yeah, for sure.
And
It's
I struggle with that a lot because I'm one of the most normal, down to earth, go to work, take care of my kids, family people, and people look down on me, and by comparison, see these people as virtuous who live these just totally off the rails, irresponsible lives just because they acknowledge Jesus.
yeah,
And every 2 to 3 weeks are talking about how they're falling back at Jesus. And me, my life largely looks like what a Christian's life would look like, except I don't go to church and don't believe in God and don't have some of these not so nice opinions of certain groups of people. But people's whole view of me is different. And that's
like a lot of Christianity, though. I'm just saying. But
yeah, part of it is just Christianity adapting to our society, and part of it is
that's true.
I wouldn't have become an atheist in order to sin, because I would just make a boring sinner, to be honest. Like, but still somehow, and that doesn't make me better than other people, and that's one thing I've grown to understand. I'm just not. But still, people look at me differently for anyway. Yeah,
I know it's stupid. People shouldn't look at you differently, Zod. You're cool, but we got like 5 calls here.